and we're just going to go ahead and get started.
Everybody tuned in. If you have questions, we want you to ask, please. So you can ask the questions in two spots. You can ask it in the chat or you can ask it in the Q&A. Just so you know, you do not have video. We can see you logged on. We can see your name and everything, but you do not have video capabilities. So the easiest way to ask a question is in the chat or in the Q&A. We will be recording this entire class. So it will be able to be found within probably 24 hours on both our website, sharkfinshears.com, and our YouTube page, Sharkfin Shears.
So right now I'm just starting by like wetting all his hair down, just so we can have a little bit of an easier time sectioning it off and seeing where we want it to go here. Now, I'm really excited about doing these cuts. It's a lot of fun. I like seeing kind of an old trend become something new. A lot of people like to think of the mullet cut kind of like it's two separate haircuts, when really it's not. I mean, it has a lot of different techniques married into one finished look. So we're going to show you that. This is a great amount of hair to work with. This is going to be quite the transformation too. It's been months, I think, since Billy here's had a haircut. I mean, maybe around the back, huh? He got back. All right. I'm going to start by establishing like where I want to create my guide. So you want to kind of go a little bit behind the ear there. And this is where we want to really keep a lot of our length. So we're going to just section that off there like that. We're going to bring the top up like that. Do you guys see okay at that angle?
Yes.
Right. So now a lot of this, I'm going to be fading out all of this, right? So for right now, what I want to do is probably just go in with a larger clipper guard, maybe like a 4, just to get some of that extra hair out of our way, because we're really not going to be needing to keep length there anyway. So that's where I'm going to start. Just a little bit. And just skipping away, I just want to get that hair off of the temple and from around the ear that's kind of in our way right now. If you want to make sure you don't go up too high, you know, you can use your comb. You're not going to cut anything past that. So if you're a little nervous about going up too high and cutting it too much, just use your comb. I'm going to clean all that up later after I can get my trimmers out. If you're working in a salon right now during the pandemic, I'm sure you've come across the challenge of getting the hair from behind the masks. But sometimes you can hold it, you know, or even have your client hold their mask so that you can get around the ear a little easier. All right. Now right here is where I'm gonna be creating my guide. So I'm gonna start leaving some length here. And what we're going to do is just take a horizontal section there along your parting. We're going to cut all that. You're going to want to do the same for this, but we're going to do it vertically instead. So you want it to kind of meet the end of the guide you just created. Oh, your hair is so long.
Really?
So what you're doing here is connecting the behind the ear section to the in front of the ear section, correct?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, that's exactly it. And now from here, you're going to continue around the back of the head, making vertical partings. And everything you bring out, that's going to be your guide for that too. So keep going, and whatever doesn't reach, you're just going to leave that long. So for him, it's not too long back here. We're going to start like working into this style. So there's going to be a few sections here that we have to cut for him.
I'll show you guys my mullet at the end of this class. I have something very similar, but my sides are shaved all the way down.
Yes, I noticed that in your class the other day. I think a lot of people think there's not, really a lot of rhyme or reason to these haircuts, but it's actually quite the opposite, I believe. All right, now we've got all that pretty much matching up with that. There are some long ones in there, but that's where I'm going to do my clipper work, so we're not too worried about that. And just for timing purposes, I think I'm honestly just going to show you guys the one side, unless we still have more time. I could go and do the second side as well, because you're going to just do the same thing on each side of the head. So
We will leave that up to our viewers. So if you guys want to comment in the chat, do you want to see both sides, or would you rather the class be a little bit shorter, just shows one side and finishes out the top?
all right. See, we're already creating that shape. Just going to wet the top down a little more. Okay, now you're going to do exactly what you did back here for the top section as well. Still coming back to that same first guide that we created. You're going to take partings horizontally, and you're going to bring that down. And you're just going to kind of marry those two together. Definitely have some product in his hair here. You can see it's just continuing to create that shape. And, you know, it really depends on what you really want the final look to look like. I kind of like mine to almost be a little more rounded this way. Some people like them more squared. If you want it like that, you're going to want to keep more of a hard section here for your guide for the back section. So honestly, again, that's where you can be a little creative with your haircuts. Now I know that he wants to keep the hair towards the front longer. So I am kind of overextending that section as I get towards the front hairs on his head. And that's where consultation is super important. Make sure you ask your client what it is that they were looking for. I like to do a little notching and point cutting in through here as well, because I like the texture it gives when you're going for that like real messy fun style. And now I'm going to go in and we're going to blend into this after we do our clipper work. So we really just want to have our starting point there. It's already looking awesome.
So it's important to point out, like, I think we're talking like modern mullets, right? We're not talking like Billy Ray Cyrus mullets, if anybody's familiar with that. So today's class,
The original mullet.
right, the original achy breaky heart mullet. So we're talking very creative. So, you know, mullets just, you know, shorter in the front, longer in the back. You have that buildup of weight or length in the back. It can be any version of that, right?
Exactly. Yeah, at the end of the day, that is the shape you're looking for, but there's so many variations. Some people like it, you know, shaved all the way up, more disconnected. This is going to be a more blended version of that. And right now, I have my number 3 guard on my clipper, and it is completely closed. And we're just going in, we're getting all those crazy little hairs that are sticking out on us. And I start to take the clippers in the direction the hair grows, not the opposite, because you are still trying to retain length in through here and you want it to blend in nicely. So I don't take my clippers here this way because that's going to take that really a lot shorter, like in the front here. So we just want to get any of the long ones that kind of stick out. So we're going to go with the hair that way. And you can still hear there's some hair coming off, but not quite as much. Yes. Switching to my 2, I'm going to continue fading down. This is the 1.5. A lot of clipper guard sets do not come with the 1.5. I highly recommend you invest in getting one. It makes a huge difference. As you can see here, I'm just taking the very corner of the clipper, going around his ears. I'm not pressing in on the whole side of his head because I don't want to take the 1.5 too high. So always pay attention to where the hair is going into the blade, because that is what you're going to cut. And now number 1. Just want some stage makeup on you. And as you can see, we're getting that really nice fade there. Just gonna come back, make sure you guys can see. He's got a little bit of makeup. He's got a little bit of makeup on him. He's a performer and was doing a show last night, so that's what we see there. But we'll get him cleaned up for our after photos.
Thanks for taking time out of your day to be a model, by the way. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes. He's been wanting this haircut for quite some time. All right. Now I'm just going to go in with my texturizers, and we're just going to do a little scissor over comb and just blend that out. Again, you're concentrating on the section here in the front, near the temple and right behind the ear.
Welcome everybody who's just tuning in, not toining in, but tuning in. Willie here with Sharkfin Shears, Director of Education. We're with Jessica Selders today, and an amazing hairstylist and barber. We're doing a modern mullet today. So a lot of this has to do with the consultation. We're seeing where we're taking it really short and fading it around the ears. But understand this, you know, when we say modern mullet, this can be as creative as you want it to be.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the most fun part of our job, I feel is like creating art really on someone's hair and making it your own and doing your own thing with it. All right. Just need to use my mirror here. Yes, it's looking good. Mm-hmm. Got some approval from our model already.
Yeah, the texture,
right in here,
the texture in the back looks great.
Yeah, right in here, his hair is just like a little heavy. There's also like some old highlights and old perm in there. So I really want to just go in and kind of notch that and get some of that fuzzy stuff off. Because once we get a stylist hair, it'll just style a lot better once we get the dead ends on. So like, I know I can see, like you guys can probably see even that right there. It's just a little heavy. So we're just gonna still stay with your guide. You see all those ends that just need to come off. And we just want to point cut those. You want to keep lots of texture with this style. Keep that edgy, fun look. Also, totally loving my swivels for stuff like this. This is like so comfortable compared to my old ones. Just going in and just kind of removing any where I see a lot of bulk or heavy weight line. Yeah, it's going to soften that up nicely. And how are we on timing? I can go ahead and move on to the second side.
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
We're fantastic. So I mean, we planned out an hour for the class, and you're just now at 12:30.
Great. All right. Hair's starting to get dry, so I'm just going to spray it down a little bit.
Also, for those of you watching, Jessica has an amazing promo code with us at Sharkfin Shears right now. Her promo will anyone who buys a shear from the beauty line gets 2 free texturizing shears. It's a 15 tooth and a 28 tooth. So buy one, get 2 free right now. And that's only available through her promo code.
That is an awesome deal.
And that's JS, right? The letter J, the letter S for you.
Yep, that's it. JS.
Thank you.
I'm trying to stand over there so they can see. Okay. And now that we're doing this side, I'm just going to move our camera a little bit. All right.
Looks great.
All right. And just like we did on the previous side, just section it off. That's why I like to wet the hair down. It's just easier. And honestly, where I determine where this section is going to be, I just kind of go off of their hairline. You know, you go to where the hairline goes back the furthest, and I feel like that's a great way to determine where you're going to start that. So same thing, I'm just going to get some of this extra hair away. Just take the comb, try to comb it out from behind the mask there.
So again, here, everybody, we're just removing bulk here, getting rid of that bulk and weight really quickly.
Mm-hmm. All right, now we're going to create our guide on this side. Take a horizontal parting parallel to the section. And I'm using as little projection as possible. My hand is resting against his head too. So you want to have some, so you have that little bit of graduation in the cut. And we're going to do the same here, only vertically.
So as soon as you start going in and connecting to the back, that's when you turn vertical.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because the further back your horizontal part goes, the further back your look's going to be. And then you're going to start to lose that mullet look. All right, continue taking vertical sections and keep bringing it back to your guide. And this is a great demo for someone who has grown their hair out for a while and really wants a new look, something fun, something different. All right, we continue the top of the head, bringing those sections down to that original guide we started with. If you're afraid to lose your guide, just look up, you'll see it under there. Towards it. Once I start bringing the hair down from more towards the peak of the head is where I like to start notching or point cutting those pieces.
Just so everybody knows, we have education one more day this week on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And yours truly, me, sorry, you're stuck with me. I'll be doing a cut from our collection called the April, which is a modern shag. It's a really fun haircut. So everybody knows, it's great to group with that with this cut.
And when is that again, Willie?
Sorry about that. I had multiple things going. That's this Friday, the 11th at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'll be doing a haircut from our 2019 collection called April, which is a modern shag.
Awesome.
And you can register for that on our website, sharkfinshears.com. Just click the red virtual education tab.
So right now I'm just going back in with my 4 again. And we are taking our clippers and we are going to cut up to your original guide. Like this section is what creates the rest. As long as you follow that, you're going to get that mullet shape you're looking for. And again, you want to kind of cut in the direction the hair grows once you get towards the back. And for these kind of cuts, I like to fade down. That's just my preference. Some people will start with the clipper work and then do all their scissor work. It's honestly whatever you're comfortable doing. However you're most comfortable blending the two techniques together.
Then you see with her clipper work, when she gets down to those smaller sections, how important it is. It's just that flick of the wrist, that little C shape, if you will, making sure you're not digging in too deep, stretching the skin.
Yes, exactly. And I do kind of move my lever as I fade down too, which that definitely takes a little practice. If you have to stop to adjust it, that's fine too. But I do like push it with my thumb or my finger while I'm cutting. And just always remember, closed, you're going to get it a little closer, a little shorter. Open's going to give you a little more. So that helps you get a nice blend. Like, honestly, I like to just envision a line there. And if you're not comfortable doing that, use your comb. That's what we have tools for. That'll help you create your guide that you're looking for. All right.
What clipper do you use?
Right now, I'm using a Raw 5-star Magic Clip, and it's cordless. I really love it. Honestly, I can charge it overnight and it'll keep a charge all day long. It's nice and quiet and lightweight.
Tickets to see the band just went up $5.
What's that?
I said tickets to see the band just went up $5, or to see the art, I should say. I assume he's in a band. I apologize, but you said he's an artist. Tickets just went up $5.
See that? There you go. All right. And then again, I'm like, just looking at it, and anywhere that I feel like needs just notched out a little bit, just to get some of those ends refreshed and take out any really heavy weight at the peak of the head there. Stay back this way. These texturizers are awesome for this kind of work because you can really drag them up with the hair. So I just really like that. They don't feel like they're pulling.
For those of you watching, that's a great way to test a texture shear, right? You should be able to put it in the hair, close it in the hair, and pull it out, right?
Yes.
For years, I used to use a texture shear where I would put it in the hair, cut, open it, take it out, and then use my comb to comb it out. Your texture shear is your comb, essentially, in that case. So a great way to
Yes,
tell
exactly.
a great way to tell how good of a shear it is to give it the old cut and comb test.
Absolutely. Oh yes, looking very cool. This is an edgy cut. You want lots of texture. You don't want really a lot of blunt cutting, a lot of weight lines. And his hair here gets pretty like heavy around the crown. We want to keep that length, but I do want to kind of blend those together. And again, it's not a lot of length we're trying to get rid of, so we just want to remove bulk. So that's what, when texturizers come in handy. These look so cool. So I'll step back here, see how we're looking. Watch your feet. It's looking really cool. He's like, I'm just gonna move my camera because now I'm gonna get my trimmers and really like do some detailing. Make sure you guys can see okay. I always feel like this is one of the most important to any important part to clipper cutting, because this is where it just looks polished and finished.
And you can get really creative with the hairline too. That's what's fun about this, right? Like you can do so
Mm-hmm.
many things.
Yeah, I want to leave his a little more wild. So I'm not really doing much with the hair that's left on here. I'm just kind of literally getting any of the neck hair from around. And what you could do, you could even go through these bottom hairs and just kind of point cut there a little bit. Give it some extra texture. This is something like you can make a longer version. You can like now grow into something like this.
Mine, for example, comes down to almost like a mohawk shape. So it's so long now, I have like a ducktail that's 3 or 4 inches long, but that's just the shape of mine where we changed that. We changed the shape of the hairline in the back.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. His previous haircut was really more or less an undercut, where this was all very short and this was very long. So we've been growing that out for quite a while. And you can make it as long and as luxurious of a mullet as you want. So if you want to keep growing that back out, go for it. I'm hooking my cord there. But it has to be really close. All right, so we've got pretty much our finished look. We haven't styled it or put product in it, but I will definitely do that for our after photos. And again, this is where, some people like the front much shorter. In this case, my client, he likes to keep it a little longer. I am going to just kind of keep it in that V shape. So I'm going to take my shears and just get any of those little extra hairs that are in our way there. But I've also seen people, take the front very short, almost like edged up, if you will, so it's again where you can be creative as an artist, or whatever your client wants.
I've seen the barbering industry kind of modernize a French crop with a mullet. So you have that shorter, those shorter bangs in the front. Maybe even have like a little shape in the bang. You may have a little edge to it on one side or the other. So again, have fun, be creative. If that's what the guest wants, you can do multiple things.
Yes, absolutely.
Two weeks from now on Friday, we'll be doing that haircut. We have a cut in our collection called the Oscar, but we're gonna kind of modernize that with longer in the back, but keep that same texture and consistency through the top. So that'll be a fun class as well. That class will be on the 18th at 2 p.m.
Awesome. Yeah, anybody on here watching, if this is your first time like finding a shark fins class, like definitely check out their website. There's new classes every week, and I think that's really awesome, and it's all free. So if you're struggling during the pandemic right now, you know, you can still learn something, and I think that's really great. So
And I'll throw it out there too, because I know it's challenging for a lot of people right now, and it may be tough to stay motivated. There are several educators out there that have independent companies that are doing free weekly education too. DJ Muldoon, Anthony Edge, Ira Pope Sage, Pivot Point's doing amazing things. So I mean, there's all kinds of free education out there.
all right. Okay. Well, we still got a couple minutes. I am gonna just throw some paste in here. I'm gonna put some manipulator in it. And I'm just using a texturizer paste, just so we can really mess it up, make it fun. Ooh. Still in center. See, I think where like the old school mullets used to be pretty neat on the top, I kind of like that these ones are a little more kind of punk rock in a way. Like you can make them messy on top. It's not all party in the back. You can have some party on the top too. If you really want to get crazy, you could also like put some lines in there if they want. I mean, there's so many fun things you can do with it.
Looks great, Jess. Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't do anything. I just watched.
If anybody's on here watching and they want to try this cut, like definitely come back to the comments and like on our Facebook Live page and show us your work. Show us what you've done.
Yes, please. And you're going to post an after picture on your page?
Absolutely. We're going to, you know, style it up real nice, take them over to our little photo area. And I will be posting to my Instagram, and it's J Selders Does Hair. And I should be posting those within an hour. So check it out for the final look. Okay.
Fantastic. Jessica, as always, it's an honor to watch you do your thing. And thank you so much for always volunteering to come on and do classes. It's amazing. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, J Selders Does Hair on Instagram. And for us, Sharkfin Shears on Instagram. So everybody have a wonderful week, and maybe we'll see you on Friday.
All right. We'll see you then. Have a good one.
All right. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Billy, thank you.